Good afternoon, I'm Malcolm Jordan and this is your midday news fix for Tuesday, the 17th of February. Heavy rain is drenching Christchurch. Roads overloaded by flooding include a section of State Highway 75 cutting off Banks Peninsula. A boil water notice has been issued for Wainui with damage to the supply infrastructure. Fire crews have rescued about 4 people from a car stuck at Little River's Wairewa Marae. In the city, Heathcote River has burst its banks at St Martin's and is spilling into surrounding properties. The Herald's Jaslyn Wales says the floodwater's about knee-high. She says one man on the school run needed help after his car broke down when it was swamped by a wave generated by another vehicle.
Several members of the community just immediately rushed to help him. A neighbour offered to get his daughter to school and we helped push the car up.
Otago and the Chatham Islands are also bracing for large downpours. Meanwhile, the skies have cleared in the North Island, which is now focusing on recovery. Labour is slamming the government for cancelling the Climate Fund, but won't commit to bringing it back. The coalition has scrapped the $6 billion resilience fund set up after Cyclone Gabrielle. It says it's dealing with climate risks through the normal budget process. Labour leader Chris Hipkins says his party won't necessarily have a policy before the election because successive governments should work on it together.
We'll see what the current government does between now and then.
The heavy rain has meant even more sewage is being pumped into the ocean following Wellington's Moa Point sewage plant failure. Mayor Andrew Little says the review should get underway as quickly as possible. But Local Government Minister Simon Watts says the panel will be appointed next month with initial recommendations expected to come in June. New Zealand First appears to be the winner once again in the latest One News Varian poll, up 1 to 10%. Leader Winston Peters has told One News he's making sure he will retain high polling unlike previous election years.
But our change in approach is to get on top of our, what I might call enemies, who just throw vile defamatory statements and false accusations out there. We're getting in first and making sure they can't do that.
Pharmacists have accepted a Health New Zealand pay offer. It means over 2 years, about 300 pharmacists will get first a 2.5% salary increase, followed by a second rise of 2%. Apex Union is ratifying the collective agreement dating back to last month. Retail confidence is at a 2-year high, with 77% of retailers surveyed by Retail NZ now confident their business will survive the next 12 months. Retail NZ Chief Executive Carolyn Young told Mike Hosking businesses are now focusing on making small gains on last year.
Retailers have told us that they have lowered their level of stock, so they are selling their stock that they've got, but they have a lot lower level based on the fact that demand has been so low.
To sport, Dalton Papali'i is bound for France after the Super Rugby season. The Blues' loose forward was only selected for one test last season under former coach Scott Robertson. Outgoing Canterbury coach Peter Fulton's hopeful a stint overseas will make him a more desirable applicant at New Zealand cricket. He's heading to England to join county side Middlesex after the conclusion of the Ford Trophy 50-over competition. And Sir Graham Lowe claims a State of Origin League match at Eden Park next year could revolutionise how New Zealanders support sport. I'm Malcolm Jordan. That's your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update at 5 p.m. from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.